Welcome to USA Rare Coins and Values. What if the coin in your pocket right now is worth more than you think? Stay with me. You might be sitting on hidden treasure. What if I told you that a simple, ordinary-looking 1967 dime, the kind you might ignore or spend without a second thought, could actually be hiding surprising value? What if that tiny coin sitting in your pocket right now is worth far more than just 10 cents? Stay with me because this story might change the way you look at your spare change forever. The 1967 United States one dime is one of those coins that most people overlook. It doesn't shine like gold, it doesn't feel rare at first glance, and millions were made. But here's where things get interesting. Sometimes, the most common coins hold the most unexpected secrets. First, let's address something important. You might see listings or claims mentioning mint marks like S, or even unusual markings like J for this coin. In reality, the 1967 dime officially has no mint mark at all. That's because during this period, the US Mint removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding. So if your 1967 dime has no mint mark, that's completely normal and actually correct. These dimes were struck in massive numbers, over 2 billion coins. Because of that, most 1,967 dimes you find today are common and circulated, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions for decades. In circulated condition, their value typically stays close to face value, around 10 to 30 cents. But here's where the story takes a turn. Condition is everything in the coin world. A 1967 dime that has never been used, what collectors call uncirculated, can be worth significantly more. Coins graded at mint state levels like MS-65 or MS-66 can sell for anywhere between $5 to $25, depending on their quality and eye appeal. Now imagine finding a 1967 dime in near-perfect condition. No scratches, full luster, sharp details. At higher grades like MS-67, these coins become much harder to find. And when rarity meets condition, the value starts to climb dramatically, sometimes reaching $100 or more. But the real excitement begins when we talk about exceptional examples. Some of the finest known 1967 dimes have been graded at MS-67 Plus or even higher by professional grading services. These coins are incredibly rare because very few survived in such pristine condition. In auctions, these top-tier examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, turning a simple dime into a serious collector's prize. Now let's talk about something even more thrilling: mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes can happen. And when they do, collectors pay attention. Off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, or even die cracks can turn an ordinary 1967 dime into something truly unique. For example, a 1967 dime with a clear off-center error or a strong doubling effect can sell for $50, $100, or even more depending on how dramatic and visible the error is. These are the coins that collectors actively hunt for. The design of the 1967 dime also adds to its story. It features President Franklin D. Roosevelt, honoring his legacy and leadership. On the reverse, you'll find a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. It's a small coin, but rich in meaning. And here's something most people don't realize: 1967 dimes are made from a copper-nickel clad composition, not silver. That means they don't carry intrinsic metal value like older dimes. Their worth comes purely from condition, rarity, and collector demand. Now imagine this scenario. You're going through an old coin jar, maybe something that's been sitting in your home for years. You pick up a 1967 dime. At first glance, it looks normal. But then you notice something unusual. Maybe it's unusually shiny, or the details look incredibly sharp. Could it be uncirculated? Could it be a high-grade coin? Or even better, could it have a rare mint error? This is exactly the kind of moment collectors live for. The possibility that something small and overlooked could turn out to be valuable is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Even today, collectors and investors continue to search for high-quality 1967 dimes. While most are common, the rare top-condition pieces and error coins are getting harder to find every year. And as supply tightens, demand quietly grows. So what should you look for? Check the coin's condition. Does it still have its original shine? Look closely at the details. Are Roosevelt's features sharp and clear? Examine the edges and surfaces for any unusual errors or striking issues. Because the truth is, value isn't always obvious at first glance. That small, quiet dime in your hand might just be another coin, or it could be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. And that's the beauty of the 1967 dime. It reminds us that even the most ordinary eshiyao can carry extraordinary potential. So next time you come across a dime, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Because you never know. You might already be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. And just when you think you've seen everything this coin has to offer, there's another layer most people never explore: professional grading. When a 1967 dime is sent to top grading services and sealed in a certified holder, its value can instantly become more trusted and desirable. Collectors don't just buy coins, they buy confidence. And that small plastic slab can make a big difference. Now picture this: two identical-looking 1967 dimes. One is raw, ungraded, sitting loosely in a drawer. The other is graded MS-67 by a professional service. To the untrained eye, they might look the same. But in the market, one could be worth just a few cents, while the other could command hundreds of dollars. That's the power of condition and certification. Another fascinating factor is something called luster. When a coin leaves the mint, it has a unique shine that reflects light in a certain way. Over time, circulation dulls that shine. But if you find a 1967 dime with strong, original mint luster still intact, you might be holding a much more valuable piece than you think. Let's take it even further: eye appeal. This is something collectors care deeply about. Two coins can have the same grade, but one might look cleaner, brighter, and more attractive. That coin will almost always sell for more. So even the smallest visual difference can impact value in a big way. And then there are die varieties, tiny differences created during the minting process. These can include slight doubling in the letters, shifts in design elements, or unusual textures. While not all are valuable, some rare varieties can attract serious collector attention and increase a coin's worth significantly. Think about how many 1967 dimes are still out there, sitting in jars, drawers, piggy banks, or even lost between couch cushions. Most people never check them closely. Most people never imagine they could be worth more than face value. But a few people do, and those are the ones who sometimes make incredible discoveries. This is what makes coin collecting feel like a treasure hunt. There's no map, no guaranteed path, just the thrill of possibility. Every coin you examine could be the one that stands out, the one that tells a different story, the one that surprises you. So before you spend your next dime, pause for a second. Look at it carefully, because hidden within that small piece of metal could be history, rarity, and maybe even a value that turns an ordinary moment into an extraordinary discovery. Imagine holding that 1967 dime in your hand, feeling its weight, examining every ridge, every tiny detail. You start to wonder, could this simple coin, produced in the billions, be one of the rare survivors in pristine condition? The thought alone sends shivers down a collector's spine. Collectors often describe this search as a blend of patience, luck, and intuition. Some spend years sifting through rolls of coins, hunting for just one uncirculated or error-filled gem. And when they find it, the payoff can be thrilling, not just financially but emotionally. Even the smallest imperfection or the complete lack of one can dramatically alter a dime's story. Tiny scratches, hairline marks, or fading details might keep a coin in the common category. But a coin untouched by time? That's when legends are made. For investors, these dimes are more than pocket change. They're tangible assets. High-grade 1967 dimes, especially with rare errors or exceptional eye appeal, hold a stable market value that has only appreciated over time. It's a low-risk treasure hunt that combines history, aesthetics, and strategy. And let's not forget the thrill of auctions. Picture a gleaming MS-67 1967 dime with a subtle die variety hitting the auction block. The room goes silent. Bidders lock eyes, hands rise, paddles fly. When the final hammer falls, the coin may sell for hundreds, sometimes over $1,000, transforming what seemed ordinary into something extraordinary. The coin's design, featuring Roosevelt's determined gaze and the torch of liberty on the reverse, adds an emotional layer. Every time you hold a 1967 dime, you're connecting with history, post-war America, Roosevelt's enduring legacy, and a period of rapid change in the United States. Even without rare errors or high grades, these dimes have stories to tell. They traveled in pockets, drawers, cash registers, and wallets. They witnessed decades of life, silent observers to moments big and small. Each scratch, each mark, is a reminder of its journey. For beginners, the key takeaway is curiosity. Don't dismiss the coins you find at first glance. Examine them, compare them, learn the difference between circulated and uncirculated, common and exceptional. The more you explore, the higher the chance of uncovering something valuable. Some of the most famous discoveries in coin collecting involve coins just like the 1967 dime, ordinary coins hiding extraordinary value. One minute it's a coin jar in a basement. The next, it's a story making headlines among collectors worldwide. That's the magic of the hunt. So the next time you hold a dime, take a moment. Look at Roosevelt's face. Trace the torch and branches on the reverse. Imagine the possibilities. Because what seems like a simple 1967 dime could very well be a hidden treasure, waiting for someone like you to unlock its secret value.